Don replaced his fob battery. Looks like it's good. Hi. Good morning, boys. Come on, let's go. Let's go to your spot. Let's go to your spot, bud. Good boy. Good morning. Good morning. There's enough chicken for everybody. Temps today are going to be slightly cooler than yesterday and slightly cloudier. We are having a real series of cloudy days. I don't like it. Good morning, Ruby. We are on time for 7:25 arrival this morning. It's 57 out there. And other than the fact that that 4Runner had the most annoying headlights ever, even in my side dimmed mirrors, it's been an okay ride in this morning. Well, looks like we're gonna have a few minutes of really pretty sunrise color this morning. I got Johnny dropped off before 7:30. Yay! If it gets any darker over here at St. Monica's in the morning, I won't be able to film over here either. I know, the time's gonna change. What, this weekend? Now I'll be complaining about the time changing. I'm ready for it to never change again, let me tell you. So, let's see. JB is headed home today. His plane flies out of RDU at like 12:30 p.m. or something. So I think, you know, he and Don are gonna head out shortly after 11 or something like that. That doesn't seem like quite enough time, but I'm sure they have it figured out when he needs to be there. We're gonna miss him. It's been a great visit, and you know, it's longer than normal because of COVID, so I sure hope that it won't be so long between this visit and the next visit. So we appreciate all the stuff that he helped do while he was here, and like I said, hopefully he'll be back soon. Johnny got his UNCC and NC State college app submitted using the Common app last night. If you don't know, they call it an app, but you do it on your computer. You put in all your demographics and your essays and your information and your guidance counselor and your transcript, all this stuff in one place, and the schools that participate, it's pretty straightforward to submit the application using this tool. Campbell and ECU didn't use the tool, but State and UNCC did. So anyway, those essays were really hard. It was kind of like having a whole nother class, and filling out the college applications has gotten so intensive now that it's kind of like having another class. So we had to write an all-inclusive how you feel about including everyone at school essay last night, and it's just, they're so hard, but that's done. So that, I think he'll find out, I want to say by sometime in January for sure. He'll find out sooner than later. He got it in by the, 11/1 at midnight deadline. So that's a positive, because he's got an engineering project and other things coming up here at the end of semester that he needs to finish up. I think he's done with SAU before Thanksgiving. They are on a very start early and a very compact schedule. It kind of got a little bit extra compacted due to COVID and stuff. I don't know what they're thinking now, but I think coming back after Thanksgiving, it'll just be AP Stats until January. So, and that's, that's a really intense class, and he'll have a project or something in there. But yeah, our schedule is fixing to become more flexible again. Don has a conference call this morning, and he's warned me that he's not going to be able to walk at least this morning, and maybe we can try for this afternoon. It should be plenty pretty this afternoon with highs in the 70s, so we'll see. I had thought about just going and walking myself this morning, and I wouldn't totally rule that out, but haven't decided yet. But no walk with Dawn at least first thing this morning, unless that call gets postponed, but I doubt it. They've got somebody joining from Europe, and thus another reason why it needs to happen in the morning. And I'm gonna rant here for just a minute, not about Tesla. Dawn had to hear me rant last night. So WeVideo, the editor that I use to make the daily video, in the spring, not for the first time, they scheduled a Zoom with me to give them input on some UI changes they were making to the editor. I've talked to them at least once a year for 5 or 6 years now. So I've talked to the developers and the support people and the marketing people. I've talked to them before, so they know me. I think it's fair to say I've made more videos with that editor than anyone else. Sometimes I think I should work for them. Well, I gave them feedback that the most important thing to me was to not ruin my efficiency on the editor. That, you know, there are certain things I'm expecting to be in certain places and to work a certain way, and that modifying them and slowing me down wasn't for the best. But their business model has been, we need to get new people. They're still, you know, we need to get people and we need to retain people, but really we want to build our license base, right? Because the number of licenses they sell, and they do market to schools, and they do have a basic free plan, and I get all of that, but still, as a power user, I don't want the editor to be messed up. So at any point, what they showed me, I wasn't impressed with it. I thought there are 10 or 20 new functions that would benefit a lot of people that I would suggest that you guys would do, and I listed off what several of them were, including making sure, having a little check for no black gaps in the video, blank areas, and no sound dead areas in the video before submitting it to render. Help out the editor a little bit without a visual scan. Tell me that I've got problems with my video. That's just one of the things I suggested. And so sometime a couple of months ago, they rolled the new UI out, and they ran it with classic and new until yesterday. And I knew it was coming, and oh, check it out and go use it and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know, I just don't want any part of that. The day they force me over, I'll live with it. And yeah, I know I gave up my chance to go find bugs and tell them to go fix them. But I just, every day that it worked the way that it was supposed to work, even with the few quirky bugs that I knew how to get around, was a good day in comparison to trying. It's, you know, think about the Tesla UI when they changed everything on the big screen back for, what was it, version 9 and then version 10 or whatever, and how you felt when you got in your car and I mean, there's still things that I don't like as much as the way it used to be, but some UI person knew better and they changed stuff. So anyway, at 11 o'clock last night, and I went to start on the daily video, I got rolled into the new editor. And I'm not going to say that it took me a ton longer to create the video, but it sure was annoying and not helpful. There was one thing they did that they could have done without a UI change. The little text at the end that has the URLs and stuff in it, I have to build that. Well, I choose to build it every day because there's one line in there that's different, and they don't have a way to insert a closing thing every day that it sucks in. They don't have a way to do that. So then they have one template for video. I need them to have two, one for the beginning, one for the end. It seems so basic, yet we don't have that. And they'll automatically size the text to fit inside the box. Of course, I still have to resize the box first, but that saved me about 1 second. And I thought, well, that's pretty cool. That's actually something new that it's doing. That's good. So I can't say everything was bad. But like, for example, there's no, I can't visually see the fade in or fade out on the audio anymore. So in order to tell if I did one or didn't do it, I have to click on it and go in there to the right tab to see it. That was really annoying. And they've moved, anytime I edit anything by clicking on it, they've moved the save button to the far upper right corner. It used to be under the things you would change. So now you got to think about somebody that's doing a save 10, 20, 30, 40 times per edit, and having to move the cursor an additional 8 to 10 inches away from the work area where most of the work is done. That's several seconds per save, and you're slowing the person down, and I don't know who thought that was a good idea. So anyway, I was relieved that I was able to create the video with only 10 or 15 extra minutes of fussing and basically wondering what possessed them to do this stuff again. And but I was thankful that I was able to create the video, because I had wondered for a while if I would run into a problem. I did have a bug last night that was bad enough that I had to refresh the browser window, and I had to remake the last change. It kind of split the screen. They have a couple pop-ups now. Would you like to add a transition? Well, I'll add it when I'm good and ready to add it. I'm not ready to add it yet. This is not my workflow. You know, one of the reasons why they had interviewed me, and my camera's getting hot now. One of the reasons they had interviewed me was to try to understand my workflow. And I would say, as best as I tried to explain it, that they still failed to understand a few things. Okay, I switched over to 1080p because this camera still gets hot even when it's not hot. You know, if they had wanted to do something to help, they would have wrote a script to do the first 10 minutes worth of stuff that I do every night. Like, you know, here are today's, the car just went to daytime mode, 7:42 a.m. It got bright. You know, put all today's stuff in a folder, and then, you know, go run the script, which would have sorted things by name and drop them into the, dropped in order the video files for that day, and inserted transitions and put the template at the beginning and hopefully closing at the end. I mean, I could see like allowing a script like that would be useful, but they think they can make it so that anybody can walk up and use and make a video the very first time they sit down without having any problems, because it's going to be so automated. And really it ought to be like Photoshop elements and probably regular Photoshop, where there's a kind of like a hand-guided workflow path, and there's a expert path. And the expert path, you don't ask the person, would you like to insert a transition here? You don't do that over there. But in the beginner path, you go, okay, you've got 2 videos. Now it's probably time to insert a transition, because I don't know, maybe there's a way to turn off those prompts. They were kind of in my way last night. I don't want to have to deal with them every time. So anyway, thanks for listening. It was a relief I got the video created. It wasn't without a few choice words, and poor Don having to take them. He's like, you're sighing an awful lot in there. And I'm like, I'm not happy. As I was coming into town, I saw a blue Rivian headed out of town. I'm headed into Harris Teeter over here to buy a chicken for the kitties. I'm not going through quite as much chicken. Marty, Stripe, and Morris aren't too interested, but I'm still feeding it to Tux, Gray, and Panther. And I used the last of it up this morning. Is that a lightning? Surely not. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I need a chicken. We've established Don's not waiting on me to go for a walk, so it's a little more convenient to deal with this parking lot in the morning, although there's plenty of cars here. It looks more crowded than you would expect for 8:30 a.m. Wow. Isn't that cute? Well, JB was still snoozing and Don was on his conference call, so I decided I would come and walk. That's Rosa. The sky is quite milky this morning. Not too cold, not too hot. I'm halfway done. This is lap 4, and in order to get the proper amount of walk in, I need 8. 9 would be better, but 8 is good. You missed our walk, but Miss Rosa walked with me.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good thing I walked, because you got that conference call this afternoon, like smack dab in the middle of the afternoon now.
Well, yeah, and I was told yesterday that it wasn't a conference call, but basically I found out different this morning, so I'm glad, but I'm ready for it.
Don's fixing to leave with JB for the airport. Yeah. It was sad to see him go, and told him I really appreciate him helping Johnny out with the box, and we'll be sure to send him video of stuff, you know, exploding inside the box. Well, hopefully not exploding, but testing, weapons testing.
That's right, weapons testing.
Johnny should really have some time to do that in December, because SAU class is in before Thanksgiving.
Oh, wow.
And then he's just got the one high school class, which I'm sure that's going to keep him busy, but not. Yeah, and all the college apps are submitted now, I think. So he's got 2 more really hard weeks leading up to Thanksgiving with projects and finals, and then it's going to get better.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you.
All right.
Johnny be wondering where I am if I don't finally leave.
I understand. And I
would have said goodbye to JB on camera, but he was eating. He was eating lunch before he goes and gets on the plane.
I'm hungry.
I'm sorry. Boy, I'm just in traffic with just a wonderful group of vehicles this afternoon. I guess I gotta question why these guys are all in the left lane. Maybe they're turning left at the stoplight up here. I don't know. If I get up to the bowling alley and I'm still in traffic with them, I'm gonna get off the road long enough to let them go by. Okay, I got away from them without having to pull over. There was a right lane closed ahead, and a Prius moved left in front of the truck, and I took off like a rocket and got around all of them, and it was nowhere near where the lane was closed, so I had a ton of time. And anyway, they're back there. That one guy with the big pieces of metal, whatever that was, and maybe it's for the construction zone up here, I don't know, but at any point it was losing dirt and stuff. I mean, it was actually things flying off of it and everything. He not only did not need to be in the left lane, he didn't need to be out in the road with a load that was throwing stuff down on cars. Some afternoons out here are more frustrating than others. Hello, Model S. I'm out of practice pulling into the garage. Don got home just a few minutes ago, and he's been making sure I could pull in. I don't have no taekwondo tonight.
So that's the sound of the dishwasher. Definitely coming down from down low. The parts on order should be here Thursday.
Baby's missing out on all the fun today, Donnie.
Yeah, so you when you're facing it, you tump it over counterclockwise, or you put it on its left side when you're facing
the door.
And one screw gets this white cover off.
Okay.
Okay, and it's pretty handy. I had to disconnect the water line. That probably would have saved me if I wouldn't have disconnected that. I probably could have tumped it over. I'll remember that next time. I didn't have to disconnect the wire. I turned off the breaker because I got a really long cord, and I also had to undo the drain hose to get it some slack. So really, I should have left this on, the pipe on, but you know, that's a little goes right here. But anyway, I would just say I took more apart than I should have, and so now I'm going to take this little jewel out right here.
And here's the new one.
Yeah.
I've changed out all my flags. I put away the ghosts, you know, that were in all these pots and stuff. Don took down the black cat and the pumpkin, and he put up Pilgrim Snoopy for me. I swear I have an appropriate sized turkey, but I couldn't find it. And I'm fixing to put my turkey feathers in my pumpkin like I had last year, and I got my big flag, an owl flag, to hang. Oh, and I had gotten this guy at Guardian Angel. I don't care that he's gonna get wet. He's really made to be outside. I put him up. I'm just, outside is gonna be no Halloween by the time I'm done. Inside's another story. There's Snoopy. Driveway and cul-de-sac blown. I ran out a little bit in the cul-de-sac, but not too bad. And Tom the turkey's up, and now leaves won't be getting in the car and in the kitchen so easy for a day. Hey, Tux. Hey, buddy. No, I know you see. No, no, no. I see Stripes trying to come see me, and Tux is mad.
This little connector comes off real easy. This one was a little more tricky, but if you look at the new one, you see how it's made. The female part stays. So that was easy. I had to work it with my screwdriver. There's 3 hoses. There's this little hose right there. It's got the red on it, and then there's this hose that comes, and this hose. But this hose, this clamp comes up. That was included with the new one. And this hose, right here, if I remember right, that was the tricky one last time too. So here we go. Wish me luck.
Is this the test? No pressure.
No pressure. I just flipped the breaker. I've done nothing. The light still comes on.
Well, if there's a mess up, don't you want to earn $10,000 on America's Funniest Home Videos?
And here's the noise.
Oh my God, it's quiet again.
Can you believe that?
Well, of course, you fixed it.
That's just because it was empty and there's no train.
Well, it always gurgles a little bit in the sink. Totally different noise than that bearing being bad. Yay!
All right, so I'm going to put the rack back in it.
Yay!
Thank you. Yeah, to tell you this is that there's a little ground screw that mounts to the pump thing. This assembly, the little ground screw. You see, he's got a really nice little picture of a little ground thing right there. Don't drop that screw. Do not drop that screw. It costs you an hour.
Did you find a replacement?
I found it's there. It has a ground screw.
Okay.
Let's just leave it at that.
So I put up 70% of the Halloween stuff, maybe 80, and I got out a bunch of my Thanksgiving things. I didn't do anything to the kitchen table, so that's why I'm hedging on exactly how much. And I don't know if I'm going to do the kitchen table tomorrow or wait till closer to Thanksgiving. I hadn't made up my mind yet. As I'm sure you can figure out, it's a lot to move the Lego houses off the table just to swap out the tablecloth.